I'll introduce myself and we'll explain what it's all about and what we're going to do in Portugal, because we are currently under construction. I'm not Central or Eastern Europe. In fact, we are located in Portugal, but the guys from Israel are using our room. So I hope you still are interested in what we do, and I will try to explain it. My name is Eliecer Lopez. I'm an agronomist by training. I've been involved in the research industry for a long time, working for a public research institution where I was in charge basically of business development or transforming value out of science for producers. So we were basically involved in breeding programs in other species like apple, pears, and peaches, stuff like that. Then later I applied for a research permit in that precise institute for doing research on cannabis, because we were working on breeding there. And this is how I got involved in the sector like 5 years ago. And now I'm working for Greenbe Pharma, and I'll try to explain a little bit what we're doing. Okay, Greenbe is, we are located in Portugal, and our scope is producing the finest GMP flour with a very interesting approach of flexibility and reducing producing cost out of the particularities of the facility that we have. For the moment, we're not going to be involved in extracts or purification. We will focus ourselves in producing flour, and we will see in further stages of the project. Perhaps we may come into the extraction and purification business, but not for the moment. We're farmers. We've been doing farming all our life. Greenbe Pharma belongs to a company that started growing olives almost 200 years ago. It is the 6th generation of farmers, and we are in fact the first olive oil producer in the world. We've been growing olives for a long time, also almonds and other crops. And currently these are our figures. It is 100% family-owned company, so it's owned by 4 brothers and sisters. We're farming almost 30,000 hectares of these crops with a turnover of 260 million euros, and we create a lot of jobs in the territories where we operate. I said we're the world's largest producer of olive oil, and we doubled the second one, so you can imagine the dimension of the sector. These are the figures of production. And we're also operating in the nursery sector, because we need to produce plants for being cultivated in other farms, with these figures like 5 million plants every year, more or less, produced. These are our pillars. We produce in a sustainable and efficient way flour of GMP grade. Under customer specification, we want to really focus on tailor-made products. So you tell us what you need and we will try to produce it for you. And the destination of our products at this moment is devoted to work for the medical sector, but we are not close to work in other approaches in the future. This is our vision. We want to be the cannabis producer of reference. We try to apply to continuous varietal innovation. I will talk later a little bit about genetics and how important it is in our project. With a patient-oriented approach, I think there is a clear gap between what the industry needs for the users, customers, whatever you call them, and what us farmers can produce for them. If we are able to identify what are the real needs in terms of finished product that we want to deliver to the industry, I think we can work a lot on that. And there is not much knowledge behind that, so all the genetics are more or less the same. All people are breeding for high THC content or high CBD content, but there's not much working on other things, important things in genetics, like pest resistance, tolerance to different stresses and things like that. I think we have to do a lot of work on that. Sustainability and social responsibility is also important for us. I will talk a little bit about that. In fact, I think these are our 6 competitive advantages against other producers of cannabis in Portugal and in other parts of the world, and I will try to explain each one of them. Regarding human capital, we firmly believe that human capital or the people involved in the company is the beginning of everything. So we're trying to get the best professionals. We have planned to have a staff of 72 people working in Portugal by the end of this year. We are selecting people that comes from the industry, has a previous background and really works on cannabis for a long time. So we're trying to hire the best people. We have a continuous training and specialization program, and we have good records. We've been working with people for almost 200 years. Of course, you have to create jobs that are fair, are competitive, and also create value in the territory. Regarding location, where are we? We are located in Alentejo, in Portugal, very close to the Spanish border. In that location, we are only 3 kilometers away from the European logistics platform, which has been built there. It's the Atlantic Central Corridor. It's also an inland maritime terminal, so it's with a large capacity, so it's easy for us to move or to ship things around the world. It's an excellent location for producing cannabis because of the weather, of the sun conditions, and it's isolated from intensive horticultural pests. We are surrounded by olives. In fact, I will show you a picture. And it's also well located next to knowledge hubs like universities and important research centers in Europe. What about infrastructure? We have a lot of experience in industrial operations. We are the owners of the world's largest olive oil processing plant that spreads in 5 hectares of land, also in Portugal. And we've designed the facility for optimal energy efficiency with a lean manufacturing at Pharma and processing. And the productive unit has been designed by our own engineers. So we have a team of people working on that for the company, for the Matrix company. And also in some specific critical inputs like LED lights or energy or fertigation, we've been designing ourselves the equipment and they have been manufactured for us. So we're importing from China some of those goods. But I think it makes a difference because we didn't find what we wanted in the market, so we decided to invent it. So we told someone to manufacture that for us. These are the characteristics of the greenhouse technology. I'm not going to bore you about that, but as you can see, we have fully automation systems, hydroponic drip irrigation, high pressure fog humidification, and some other things. It's important what you see here. We dehulled a lot of almonds and we get the pit out of a lot of olives. So we have a large amount of biomass that we use in our facility, so that this reduces cost very much. We don't use electricity. We produce our own electricity out of the biomass that we can burn. So that will make us very competitive in that sense. Genetics, as I said, is important for us. We're trying to focus now in selecting partners and trialing their varieties to have a large library to choose from at each moment. And in this case, we are discussing with the most significant serious breeding programs that exist at this moment and are operating in Europe and in the United States mainly. And we aim to have like 30 plus strains dedicated library with these characteristics. We're also working in trying to find something unique related to terpenic and flavonoids. I think that will be very important in specific markets at some point. We're also using an enhanced routing protocol that is self-patented, and we are producing it ourselves. And I think that having a quick system to change or to swap varieties will give us also advantages against the competitors. The way we're going to produce those plants, of course, the cycle of the plant is an average of 90 days. You cannot change that. Depending on the variety, you can have less time, but At the end of the day, if you're able to plan your production based on the needs of the market, you will be flexible enough to deliver plants as they are requested by the industry. I will not show you facilities because we are under construction, so my wife made those wonderful paints here, so I'll show you. This is more or less the process that you know. We will start from mothers. We will get cuttings, rooted clones, vegetative, flowering, and then harvest, okay? This is regarding GACP, and this is GMP, wet trimming, drying, quality control, packaging, and depending if at some point we arrive to extraction or not, that is why it is between brackets here. And later on we will storage and expedition. These are the facilities. These pictures were taken only 2 days ago. This is how the construction site is at this moment. These are the GMP facilities. And this is the structure of the greenhouse as it goes. This is currently 2 days ago. And you can see a sample of the layout there, okay? All these fields are olives. This is a Google image photo with, that was taken some years ago, so wouldn't have the olives around. And these are the outputs, or more or less the figures. The total surface of the farm is 8 hectares. We're going to build 1 hectare in the first phase with this one model scope, 9 flexible flowering units and 9 vegetative units, so we can change varieties at each time. Okay, this will be the layout of the GMP allows at this moment. Oh, sorry. The GMP of the facility at this moment allows about 2,600 kilos of flour per year in the first phase. But we designed the GMP to multiply it by 5 if needed. I don't think there's such a big market like that, but in any case, our engineers decided to anticipate if for some reason we needed to do some extraction or purification facilities or whatever. We made a big GMP facility. Regarding circularities, it's another competitive advantage that I think we have. The efficient use of resources will allow almonds and olive biomass recirculation. And we've also built a 1 megawatt solar photovoltaic plant for energy production in the GMP facility. The fertigation smart technology and nursery and farm level includes osmotized water. We are planning to compost our co-product for our biomass co-processing. We started because setting the farm there requested us to work on endanger. There was some kind of mice around the olives that we had to take care of. So we designed also a protection plan for these endangered species. And we will also work on educational and environmental services. R&D is, I am a firmly believer of R&D. I've been working in R&D all my life, so I asked the strategist of my company that they should include a scientific committee that we call which is a scientific advisory board, which is independent, and we're working currently with these 4 approaches: agricultural approach, biotechnology, patient-oriented, and product development. We are, of course, interested in working in genetics with third parties, not only focus on getting cannabinoid contents, as I explained. We're also interested in doing research in nursery technologies, sensors, smart agriculture, artificial intelligence, and things like that for optimal technified production on farm. Biofertilizers also is interesting for us. And we have started some agreements to do research on those specific lines with different centers of knowledge all around Europe. We also expect to be, because I think there is a lack in here, supply of cannabinoids, GMP cannabinoids for future trials for the pharmaceutical industry for clinical tests and things like that. I think it's an important part. We want to, since we will be very flexible in producing different APIs, which don't require a large quantity of those cannabinoids, we also want to be working on that area. And I am currently looking for patient-oriented science partnerships. If someone of you knows about people working on that, I will be very happy to meet them and to explain what we want to do. So these are in general what will be the key factors for success in my opinion. If you work with a high-end infrastructure with good technification inside, with sound agronomical production models, we've been farming all our lives. I mean, I'm not concerned at all about technical capabilities of our team getting the best flowers out of the facility. We are very much experienced in competitive agriculture with top human talent and top genetics cut to fit to product range. I think we will be able to deliver a very competitive product with very low costs and a fair price. We love challenges. We always want to hear what's the specification for the customer. So if someone is looking for a specific design of product or process or something like that, we will be happy to assist. And working in things like that, like selecting different chemotypes or uniqueness or working in other calibers, terpenics and flavonoid profiles or whatever. A service, even though how do you do the shipping, the logistics and everything, we will be happy to work with you on all these things. And innovation is also needed for doing, I mean, I think innovation in all the production chain is very important in this sector because we are like stuck. There's only people producing 3 types of products, and we're far away from consumer product goods like vapes or liquids or drinks or something like that. I mean, we're farmers, we're not interested on that part. But I think on varietal innovation, for example, is something that we should be working on all these things. And I hope to see you in Alentejo later this year when we finish the facility. I will be very happy to show you around. And thank you for your time and attention. And if you have questions, I will be happy to answer them. Thanks.